Well, well, well. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly Steelchair. How are we doing tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, I have an update for you as well. When you bring up your comments, they will appear right beside me on screen. But this is, of course, your Monday Night Raw review, so show comments on stage activated. So when you chat, your comments are going to appear. Like that one. But wait till you see when you drop your comments, let me know. I'm looking forward to trying this. I want to see how it looks before we even start, so I'll wait for a couple of comments to come in, but welcome one and all to your one true Monday Night Raw review. See, it works perfectly. Hello, Smooth. Good to see you. So now I don't even need to bring your comments up anymore. I can just leave them on screen because then I can acknowledge you all. So I can just chill back in full screen. Full screen. But yeah, the show was complete and utter dog shit. Honestly, I swear to God, WWE are not trying. Like, it feels like they are coasting. Stussy, hello, not a great show, but somewhat serviceable. True mid this time instead of the usual below mid. That's one way to put it, my friend. That is one way to put it. They're just fucking useless. I really am glad that I don't cover SmackDown on the channel for the time being. I'm really glad because they are really fucking about, and it's not going to change. It's really not going to change. I, for one, where the fuck do you begin? Like, obviously not in terms of like the show beginning, but where the fuck do you begin with actually turning it around? No stars on SmackDown. You can arguably say there's no SmackDown or there's no stars on Raw as well. It's completely obvious Triple H is sabotaging Cross. Wasn't it Backlash? Wasn't it Raw? And yet again, not on the show. It's so much more than that. I have another feeling there's so much more than this. And I don't think he would like it either. Give me 10 seconds. There we go. Fix that a little bit. It's a great talking point. Smooth. Carrying cross. Put my phone on charge. I don't think carrying cross. I don't think he has a future. If that makes sense. Carrying cross doesn't have a future. Hello, Fernando. How are you? For some reason, I thought Sheamus versus Waller was a Money in the Bank qualifier. The way it was announced last week made me think that. No, it's just the women for the time being, and the women's matches, the results were predictable. But I want to give a big, massive, well-wished, speedy recovery message to Zoe Starks. I hope you make a speedy recovery. I really hope she makes a speedy recovery, because that's a fucking joke. Yeah, I hope so. Even if she's not the best in the ring, she's still a human being. She's still trying her best to do her job. And obviously that's now being sidelined by injury, which is unfortunate. Alright, Maria, how are you? With Hendry, at least he's still in TNA, but cucking your own guy's just crazy. He should be strapping that rocket. If he had a brain. Joe Hendry's a fucking idiot anyway. Like, he's an idiot for letting himself get fucked over at Mania. And you've got idiots saying that it was great for him, it was great for TNA. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, but I die on that hill. It was bad for TNA, it was bad business. I will not praise it. Like, you can come at me all you want for bias or anything like that, but nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to change my opinion. It was bad for TNA. It showed what horror is to come. And instead people are saying, oh, partnership. Oh, we got views. Kiss my ass. You know what's even worse? And I said it on the show the other night. I was there in the forums when WWE fans tried to get TNA cancelled years ago. Like, I was in the forums in the late 2000s, early 2010s, defending TNA from WWE fans. Like, the horrible version of the WWE fans. And they were going absolutely crazy on TNA. And most of those same fans that were defending them in the TNA forums were like, we don't want WWE anywhere near TNA in the future, in any circumstance, right? Those same fans are now praising this partnership. Those same fans are defending the partnership. And now I'm getting called a fake TNA fan for it. Because I'm like, no, this is not a partnership. I'm going to be the last fan standing. He got jizzed on his face by WWE, and he continues to just give that stupid smile. Yep, absolutely. Like, no, bro, you and your championship in TNA was just exactly. The Money in the Bank, Rhea Ripley wins winner. That was a shit decision. Rhea Ripley in the Money in the Bank shows why I want this stupid match cancelled. Are you ready for the Daphne Dark Side of the Ring? No, I'm not ready at all. I will be watching, but I am really not ready for this. That's going to be a very, very hard watch. Might as well have gone all the way with it and put the title on Orton. That would have killed me inside. That would have killed me. I can't honestly understand why you would allow it. And you've got morons like O'Shea Jackson and the busted open pricks saying, oh, this is great for TNA. How is it great for TNA? Like, this is the sort of shit that actually alienates people, you know? Like, that alienates fans. And if you want a perfect example of it, look how stupid that they had on Thursday when they put Nikita Lyons in a tag match. She can't even do a fucking Bronco Buster properly. Io botches a good amount, but Kairi's probably WWE's most notorious botcher. But yeah, Rhea's toxic. Diarrhea's. I don't think it's not that she's toxic. She's just becoming the fact that she's becoming so invincible that you can't believe some stuff about her, you know? Whereas Io Sky doesn't botch a lot. Like, it's few and far between. Kairi Sane, on the other hand, that was a bad botch. I hope they don't release Zoe Starks next year for being injury prone. Spoiler. She's going to be one of the first 5 people. Toodaloo. Here's your P45. And then you're going to see fans everywhere going, oh, I feel sorry for Zoe Starks. Oh God, I feel sorry for her. But you'll have the fans like us who will go, well, actually, we didn't think she was great to begin with. But we know she tries hard. And we genuinely feel sorry for her. I guarantee you in a year's time, that'll be the difference. Rhea is being booked like Brock Lesnar. That's one way to put it. That is one way to put it. And she shouldn't be. Like, it is bad that the way they've done it. I don't think it was as bad as people are making it. It was at Mania and it was against one of the GOATs. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Zoe Stark's injury? Zoe Stark got injured last night. She is a star, but she doesn't need to be booked like that, you know, because that's what turns people off. Especially because she has such a raw appeal that's cool. It's a shame because I think she's a cooler version of Io with the whole TNA flying gimmick because of the pirate symbolism. I think in their own way, I think they both outshine each other. Like when Io Sky had her NXT run and you can see her coming up to the main roster at that time, you can see something in her that was already there because she had it in Stardom and in Japan. Kairi Sane is the same thing. They both morph each other really well. And Guy, if you're defending the whole Joe Hendry thing, nah, I'm not going down this route. It's pathetic. The difference is I'm an OG TNA fan. You'll see how bad it is from my perspective. Then you'll realise, actually, you know what, he's right. From a Joe Hendry perspective, it's his audition to get in his WWE contract. That's fine. If you're gonna do it and job out in 3 minutes, don't be the TNA World Champion. If you're gonna job out in 3 minutes, don't be the TNA World Champion. That's all I ask. Io's got perfect timing when it comes to wrestling. I like her character. Like, it is slightly generic, but also it stands out. I just don't like that immediately she had to be the third wheel in a title feud where she's the champion. Like, I don't like that shit. But I've always liked Io. She's somebody that physically you can believe in. Like, she's not a run of the mill wrestler. Like, she actually has a lot to offer. Those are the people that you want to keep, but you get rid because you're idiots. Or these are the people you push, and then you don't realise it at the last minute. Case in point, Chelsea Green. Hello, Zodiac. How are you, brother? First of all, doesn't matter if you got a big entrance and a big stage. Second of all, the whole thing about Triple H having Taz job to him on SmackDown is totally different. Are you watching? No, I won't be watching that. That's not my thing. My brother's going to see it though, because my brother likes Stitch. I hope Rhea takes the jewelry and piercings off for her matches. I'm genuinely concerned. Yeah. I like Asuka better because she's a female Muta. I don't like all that random yelling and dancing. I mean, the female Muta is already in Japan right now, but Asuka's more like a Nakamura than anybody else. Asuka's more like Nakamura. Rhea's close to being like Hogan. I don't want her to be. I like her presentation. I like her gimmick. I like her character. She doesn't need to be booked like she's going to win every single time, though. And also, why is Rhea in Money in the Bank? She doesn't need to be in that match. Like, she's the one that makes no sense. They picked the wrong winner. The thing about Taz, though, is Taz went to reclaim the ECW title from Mike Awesome. And then he lost to Triple H. But here's the thing, Taz was a WWE signed talent. Yeah, I mean, she does, but in essence, there's so many of it. She should take the belt off Io, and I am going the word aura. Then people in the word aura. The day someone understands the word aura, I'm going to give a standing ovation. I'm dead serious. Taz was a great asshole healer in SmackDown 2000. I wish they'd have stuck with it a little longer. You know what killed Taz? Wrestling Jerry Lawler. Can we retire? Or, well, you put Aurora, but Aura? Yeah. Because people get it wrong so much, and I'm actually getting sick of it. Like, the people that say that Jey Uso's entrance has got aura, for example, all over social media are making me physically sick. Those are the people that you need to avoid in wrestling. People that just say anything for any reason and not know what it means. Exactly. It's why I see when I saw, yeah, I hate Aura and the It Factor. They apply to everything. The only time that I've ever said someone has the it factor was Bobby Roode, because he was the it factor. But in terms of aura, only 5 wrestlers in my entire existence of watching wrestling has aura. 5, I would say 5, but I just find it stupid. It's a buzzword for everything, and there shouldn't need to be. And I hate when commentators get involved in it as well. They've got aura. This is how I know that you lot are a bunch of plebs. I'm glad though that the chat function is now showing on the stream so you guys can see your comments. I really do like that. Taker, Stone Cold, Rock, HBK. I'm sure Andre, Taker, Stone Cold, yes, have an aura. I was going to say Macho Man had aura. And the final one for me is Jake Roberts. Velveteen Dream. No, I don't think Velveteen Dream had aura. He has charisma, but not aura. Ultimate Warrior, until he starts talking in weird riddles, but yeah. Why did Bobby Roode retire? He got a bad neck injury. Bray Wyatt, aura, yeah. If you look at a different perspective, Kurt Angle and Bret Hart had a different kind of aura. I think if you put Shawn Michaels in that conversation as well, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he was the guy. Scott Hall had aura. Crow Sting had aura. I think in terms of The Undertaker, controversially, only the original version and the Ministry of Darkness you can truly say was aura. The rest of it was just respectful presence. But it was like a different kind of aura when he was the original into the purple Taker, then the Ministry Taker. That for me is his aura. Did the Great Muta have aura? Yes. Yes, he did. Yep, NWO did have aura. Roddy Piper had aura. I think even Brock Lesnar. Well, it's on screen, so of course I can. I always thought Prince had aura, and Velveteen is inspired by him, so I always thought he gave me the same vibe. See, Prince had an aura. Absolutely, Prince does. Velveteen Dream just has a swagger. But in terms of what you've said, you know what aura is. I think it means a presence, you know, when you look at them. True, but not everybody really feels it. So, like, Chris Jericho in his entire career had aura on 2 levels. When he became that heel gimmick in 2008, when he started becoming like Nick Bockwinkel, and the Painmaker when he went to Japan. Mr. Perfect had aura? Yes. Haku, he had aura. JR talked about the Igloo in Pittsburgh had aura the night of Taker Mankind. Yes. Arenas have aura. Madison Square Garden, that has an aura about it. It's special, but you'll never feel that again. Hammerstein Ballroom had aura. Must be a very thin line between aura and swagger. Very. Very. So, like, you can instantly feel something by Bray Wyatt. For example, I'm going to use an example you said, Bray Wyatt. You can feel like that chill feeling. Like Kane as well. The original Kane had fucking terrifying aura. Mankind, when he first came around, aura. You feel it. Like a little... It's that strange sensation in your body, and you can't describe it. Like that's what I view as aura. Whereas The Rock, Velveteen Dream, Dude Love, very thin difference of character here. Dude Love, Diesel, 1-2-3 Kid, Ted DiBiase, Randy Orton, some of the time. Batista, Vader. They had swagger, but not aura. You know what I mean? So that's what I value, the difference between aura and swagger. The original Doink the Clown was swagger, not aura, but he was getting there. He was like the bridge. Why do people blame Bret Hart for WWE ratings going? Why do people blame Bret Hart for WWE ratings during the Monday Night Wars? He was an obvious victim because he was the go-to guy. So they measure all the success with him. But here's a true story. The ratings weren't bad with Bret Hart as champion. The ratings were worse with Shawn Michaels in '96 and Diesel. Bret Hart was just a victim of his own success in that early stage. But the ratings were steady under him. If anything, if you want to contribute to bad ratings, you got to contribute so much shit around booking, because that's just as bad. What about Goldberg? Goldberg had aura until he kicked Bret Hart's head off, and then it was, we don't want to see this guy now. I feel like AEW lost some aura the night of that exploding barbed wire death match. I mean, Jon Moxley, swagger. Kenny Omega has an aura about him. But in terms of lost some aura, it's understandable. Goldberg he definitely had aura. But I think the problem is he thought he had the aura of someone like a Hollywood Hogan or a Sting, but it wasn't there. Yes, 100%, I agree with that. MJF doesn't have an aura, but he's got swagger. I would say Braun Breaker, he had an aura until he became Seth Rollins' lapdog, but he's a swagger. I would say he's got swagger. He won't have aura now. It's over. I don't think MJF ever had aura, personally. Harley Cameron, all I'm gonna say is, like, I need more grabs on TV. Grabs and graps. Jerry Lawler wrote a book a long time ago and wrote that Bret Hart is the only champion for WWE that couldn't draw money. You see why I don't rate Jerry Lawler as a commentator anyway? Because he just talks shit. If he thinks Bret Hart never drew money, he needs to go back and rewatch after SummerSlam '97. In fact, leading up to SummerSlam as well, Bret Hart was drawing money as the #1 contender. Jerry Lawler couldn't even draw a dime when he went to WWE. In 2016, Asuka had aura. She got it from Shinsuke Nakamura. I love that the hot big girls are also the most talented. Yeah, look at like Anna Jay, Deonna Purrazzo, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's best pal. Harley Quinn's best pal. Harley Cameron, because she is basically. Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, Natalia Neidhart. They're all in the same fashion, but they're all talented. Bret Hart was probably the most popular champion WWF ever had outside the United States, him and Hogan. Steve Austin as well. 1998 Capital Carnage, I believe it was, when they were in the UK. It was a fatal four-way: Kane, Taker, Mankind, Steve Austin, WWF title. Steve Austin was over like fuck. Liv Morgan, she ain't. I don't agree with Liv Morgan. Chelsea Green, on the other hand, I do agree with Chelsea Green. Never drew a dime might be one of the funniest things ever said in wrestling. I know, mate. That's why I love saying it, but people that weren't. In the Attitude Era, you either got a hot chick or a horse face that could wrestle. And speaking of horse faces, Nicole Bass. Nakamura lost his aura as well as Asuka, but the difference is Asuka's actually won the major belts. There's a reason why Nakamura never won a major title in terms of like main event belts. He only won like the Intercontinental title and the US title. There's a reason why he never won the WWE title. Liv got so much better, she probably the most improved and has surpassed Rhea. It's debatable. Did Chyna have aura? Yes. She was going to be WWE champion in 1999. Like, she was going to win the title. And they backed out. And you want to know who to thank for that? I bet you'll never guess who's to thank for that. Why they didn't make her champion. And it's not Triple Beak. Before anyone says, is it Triple Beak? It's not him. It's not Stone Cold. Stone Cold was actually okay with putting her over. The real reason Finn Balor brought Roxanne into Judgment Day is because he thinks it'd be funny seeing her stand next to Liv. Especially because Roxanne is better than Liv Morgan. HBK, no, it's actually because of Shane McMahon. It's Shane McMahon. Aura basically is, that's what it means. Like, if you want the true definition of aura, so aura, if you want to really get the definition, so aura means a distinctive atmosphere or quality that seems to surround and be generated by a person, thing, or place. Hence why Bret Hart famously said Madison Square Garden is not a church but holy ground. And it said another meaning is, in spiritualism and some forms of alternative medicine, a supposed emanation of surrounding the body of a living creature and regarded as an essential part of the individual. Roxanne isn't slightly better than Liv in the ring. Roxanne clears Liv every day of the week. She's got a better promo than Liv Morgan as well. I think Liv Morgan is actually overrated. That's why Mankind won it for 24 hours. Yep. Stone Cold refused to drop the title to Triple H as well at SummerSlam. He refused. He was like, I'm not doing it. There was a lot of people that did that. Refused to drop it to certain talents. There's actually a very interesting talent who refused to job a title to someone, and it led to a very horrible rivalry. And it led to bloodshed. She isn't one of the worst on the mic. Where are you getting that from? Behave. Liv Morgan is bland on the mic. She's only lucky that she's got something that people will look at so she gets attention. She's not that good. One of the worst on the mic. Have you heard Maxine Dupree? Yeah, to be fair, Austin just refused because it was the wrong idea for him. Triple H was. I'm not saying she hasn't got way better. I just think she's not as good as people claim she is. Triple H was actually injured a lot during his Intercontinental Championship reigns. It isn't right, but I really don't blame Austin. Yep, Rey Mysterio did refuse to lose to Ziggler. Max, true, but she's got zero talent. Smooth. That's what I'm saying. She's got zero talent. I think she should be a whole lot better, but she won't ever be. She was rushed. She was rushed to the main scene. But in terms of who refused to lose to someone, Bob Backlund to Hulk Hogan. Because it led to one of the worst moments, but also longest and worst personal rivalries you'll ever see. Cena, Jack Swagger, yeah, he was like, I'm a fuck dropping the title to that stuttering clown. His world title run was horrible. God, that was horrible to watch. Yeah, I think she's in the wrong profession, Smooth. I know she's a wrestling fan, I won't take that away from her. But I think she's in the wrong profession. She might end up doing well as an actor. But yeah, Bob Backlund refused to drop the title to he refused to drop the title to Hogan. So they did the natural thing. Okay, Bob Backlund drops the title. Bob Backlund drops the title to the heel, Iron Sheik. And then Sheik obviously dropped the title Madison Square Garden to Hogan. But he asked Hogan at some point, give me the win back or give me the return match. Hogan was like, nah, you're alright. I'm not doing that. Why did Rey refuse to lose to Dolph? I'm actually not sure why he refused to. I know he refused to drop it to him, but I don't know why. I think she's hit her ceiling. That's probably as close as she's going to get. You know who else refused to drop to someone? Chris Jericho refused to drop the Cruiserweight title to Dean Malenko. That's why they did the Battle Royal. Trish would be an outlier to the model. Well, after all, she was when she came in. So yeah, basically, well, she was a model and she was a fitness model. But yeah, Chris Jericho refused to drop the title to Dean Malenko, so that's why they did the booking of the Battle Royal with the luchador, like the cruiserweights and the luchadors. And obviously Jericho thought he was going to be up against Juventud, and then Juventud obviously slipped out the ring. Malenko comes in with a mask, wins it, and then obviously beats Jericho, and well, rest said the better. Really, really bad. If you refuse to job to someone, then there's something wrong. But this is why I'm going to be a little bit controversial. I understand why Brett didn't want to drop the title to Shawn Michaels, but at least he was given a reason. And obviously things were taken out of his control. But I understand why Brett didn't want to drop the title to Shawn Michaels or job to him. But yeah, you get paid to do a job and you don't do it for no other reason, then there's something wrong. But if you're given a reason and you justify it, then it's at least a conversation develops in that way, which is fine. But I think even like Hogan refused to job to Perfect as well. Like he really refused to job to him. I'll never understand that. Yeah, he refused to lose to Kidman. He refused to just let him pin him, which is pathetic. Billy Kidman needed that result. I don't want to think of Cody and Roman as models, thanks, but I get your point. Rusev and Alistair didn't put anybody over because their back injuries prevent them from laying on the mat. Or just simply they just didn't care. They didn't care. Stupidly. I guess if you listen to Russo, Hogan didn't want to lose to Jarrett either. Russo probably telling the truth. Probably. No Goldust, but I can tell when a dude looks like one. No Velveteen, but yeah, it's fair. I hope Black does well. Alistair Black can fuck off. He's a prick. I hope he flops heavy. I really do. I actually hope he flops. Same with Ricky Saints. He's flopped. He's now flopped, which is beautiful to witness. He's dead now, Zodiac. Because when you're offered creative for yourself and your faction and you openly refuse that, it holds your group back. Or same with Ricky Saints, if you're offered creative and then this is a creative plan for you and you openly refuse, you deserve to get blackballed. I don't care. I really thought they were bringing him into feud with Cody. To be honest, that's what I thought as well. I was like, are they going to just repeat history? But instead, what they've done is they've done the Cody feud, but with The Miz. Which, I kind of see it, but is it exciting enough? I don't think so. I hate when talented people openly refuse to get things. He had one of the coolest factions in recent years and he was getting to do single stuff, but even when he's in the faction, if you're openly refusing, then quite frankly, you deserve nothing. I think Zelina probably has something to do with him picking WWE. No, I think him choosing to go back to WWE is why Zelina got put over Chelsea Green. Bad decision. Bad decision to have her beat Chelsea Green. So, we are 45 minutes in. We better start reviewing Raw, eh? Or reviewing most of it. So, what's advertised for the Go Home Raw 2 Saturday night's main event? Okay, so we have advertised, as we said, world champion, mid-card champion Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. We have women's Money in the Bank qualifying matches, 2 of them on the card, and we've got Sheamus versus Grayson Waller in a dusted veteran versus useless Grayson Waller because he's useless. That shit still pisses me off. Zelina's like 3 feet tall and she needs to manage Andrade like before. Yeah. Zelina, I mean, I saw her in TNA, she was decent. But let's be real. Is she really overall great? No. Not really. She works hard, but she hasn't done anything for years. So, show kicks off surprisingly and sadly with Logan. We don't want to see him, Paul, who is very pleased in his right state of mind, whatever the fuck that means. He's pleased to discuss his World Championship match that he's going to have at Saturday night's main event. I'm glad this is on YouTube because then I don't have to watch it. Yeah, she's got good mic skills. I'll give her that. She does have good mic skills. Probably because she's a Twitch gamer. Does help a lot. Logan discusses his upcoming match on Saturday night's main event. Obviously, it's on NBC. For us, it'll be on YouTube. I would call him Darth Paul, but it's too good for him. Less said, the better. Nope. As he goes on and on about the fact that he's going to be the next world champion, so he claims. It kicks in and out comes Gunther. I think Joe's last good year as a wrestler was 2018. I'm glad that's your opinion because I disagree. Are we just writing off the fact that he had a good 2023? Are we going to ignore the fact that he had a brilliant Ring of Honor TV title reign? I don't think we can say that about him. I think that's horrible. Oh, it was brilliant. He went from that to a world championship run that actually worked. I think to say his last good year was 2018, just to overlook anything else since is actually a bit unfair. He used to bring back the Cien Almas name. That's true. There's a million 1,000 souls. That entrance theme was a fucking banger. Yeah. You know why they won't bring it back? Because he's not going to work. Give him 6 months. And he'll be back in catering. Getting paid handsomely, but he'll be back in catering in 6 months. Following his desire to proclaim himself the next world champion, he just rambles on and on because he's boring as fuck, Logan Paul. Out comes the dusted former world champion, Gunther, who's in a very angry mood. In very angry mood, I should say. This was the most interesting part of the show, the way they tried to weave together the story threads of Gunther, Paul, Jay, Seth, Heyman, and Punk. They did. Too bad that they are just failing. They're not actually hitting this. And I'm still trying to decipher why. It's almost like, are we going anywhere? No. Are we trying? Sort of. Do we care? No. You know what I mean? Like, it feels... It doesn't feel right. I watched this match with Darby and Joe looked like he lost a step. That was ages ago, though. Notice how he tried to work too fast in that match, and ever since he's worked at a proper pace for a big man, and he works well. There's other guys around him that have lost a step, whereas he's actually shown that he's fine. Following this horrific promo between Gunther and Logan Paul, we get the confirmation, because he really wants to confirm and reiterate that he has the world title shot on Raw on June 9th, which is the Raw after Money in the Bank. Your world title is not going to be defended on the pay-per-view. You can't make this shit up. Notice how you're saying it was a good match, but Joe looked slow. Notice how he was forced to change his style, and since then it's been fine. Joe is one of the best things going. Appreciate why we have him. Exactly. I actually do want to see Paul versus Gunther. It sounds interesting to me. It'll probably happen non-title at some point. This is probably the best promo I've heard from Logan. It definitely sounded like he's fixing his delivery. Well, for the amount of talking that he does out of his arse, he should have been good by now. Because that's all he does. He just talks out of his arse. I can't stand Logan Paul. I think he's too anti-wrestling in terms of how he is. It just doesn't feel right. Of course, Logan Paul, he can't help himself. He does talk down Gunther. Or, well, he attempts to. And he eats the most overused move in wrestling. He eats a super kick. Because, of course, he does. And then the DUI champion has some words before he leaves. And we move on. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. The DUI champion. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Whoever the champion's going to be in June, but... Well, spoiler, it's going to be Jey Uso, but... It's so not good. The other times I've heard him, he sounded so unnatural. I don't think he knows how he wants to come across. If that makes sense. We get to our first match of the night, which is Finn Balor, the resident Pin Man, and JD McDonagh of this horrible faction. God almighty, it is still going. This faction has to die, I'm sorry, it has to die. Versus AJ Styles, one of the GOATs, and Penta, again one of the GOATs, but please let him work properly. And well, we know how this match ends. Of course you weren't impressed with his match with Mox. Because it was too extreme for you. Okay, let's get the rabbit out of its hole quickly with this match. First of all, El Grande Americano is really starting to piss me off. This insult of a gimmick is seriously becoming a problem, and I can't take it seriously anymore. Or what should I say? I've never taken it seriously, but I can't ever take it seriously. It's only boring to you because you can't get excited by the enjoyment of something extreme. It must be annoying getting super kicked by someone wearing big Air Force Ones. Yeah, it's becoming a common conception of it. No idea nipping, but I'm not here to talk Bond tonight. This is not a Bond show. But good to see you. If they continue with this gimmick for over the summer, this El Grande Americano, then I'm going to stop watching Raw. Like I'm just going to stop because it's becoming a joke. I'll end up stop reviewing Raw altogether, or I'll just stop reviewing these segments because it's on thin ice. Like I can't keep watching this when there's a good wrestler under this mask who is being wasted for bullshit like this. I like watching just Chad Gable wrestle. I like watching Chad Gable wrestle. I like Chad Gable being authentic himself. I don't like seeing him being a pleb in a mask that's insulting Lucha Libre. And before anyone comes in going, oh, it's not insulting Lucha Libre. Just don't. This gimmick does more harm to Chad Gable than people think. And why it's getting praised, I've got no idea. It's not good. Like, it's really crap. He's following the footsteps of Angle's goofiness. The only difference is Kurt Angle has charisma. Kurt Angle has personality. Chad Gable, he's just Shorty G. This gimmick needs to go. Alright, Billy. Chad Gable without the mask can be goofy if they want him to be. I don't mind that. If Chad Gable has goofy spots in matches, like, it works with Chad that way. But when Chad does it with a mask on, in this pathetic gimmick, it doesn't feel right, and I can't take it seriously. Chad Gable should go AEW. Not essentially. Right, Kurt, one of the only ones who could have pulled off his goofiness. Was she talking about my gold medals? Yeah. I get it, obviously, you have a different opinion from Latino. I just think it's really crap, a gimmick. Chad Gable and Josh Alexander make an excellent tag team. I mean, Josh would carry him, but it would be interesting. I don't think Chad Gable would be the top guy in TNA. It's not remotely possible. And again, I'm a Chad Gable fan, but he would not be in the top. He would not be in the top guy in TNA. They should have concluded the whole thing with Chubbas properly. They should have done a match to conclude it, but they didn't. That whole faction was horrible. It's not American. Alpha Academy was absolute rubbish. It still is. That was any opportunity to hold Chad Gable back. one of the worst factions of all time. That had no business being on TV. It's because of that faction that Chad Gable did not win the Intercontinental title. What they were doing with him before, with American Made, without the mask gimmick, is fine. Like, that gimmick actually works for me. I think Chad Gable would have a run with the TNA Championship. He's a better wrestler than Ali. He's a better collegiate wrestler, but in terms of wrestling an overall match, I still think Ali's much better. Gable will take the title from Dom. Nah, he won't. He won't. I think Chad Gable versus Ali would still be a good match, to be fair, but I think when you look at it in general, I think Ali offers so much more. But I do like Chad. Chad Gable's style works if you actually put the time and logic around him. They don't do that. And before when they do it, or should I say if they do it, I think it'll be too little too late. Because let's be real, Sammy Politician Zayn should not have been the one to beat Gunther. Chad Gable should have been the one to beat him. But no, they still kept him with the Rudy Poo crew, and that was it. All hope was gone. But yeah, anyway, so I think Joe's had too many injuries. He isn't the Joe of old. I mean, that's Captain Obvious, isn't it? He was the same in WWE. After they had him jobbed to Brock Lesnar, he was never really the same for them. At least when he went to AEW, they made him look like a big man again. How he's being used right now is how WWE should have used him. But instead they had him being mugged off to Rey Mysterio. When, quite frankly, that shouldn't have happened either. The way he's being used is how I would have used him in WWE. They used him right in NXT when they brought him in from a 2-year slumber in TNA. Omos has disappeared off the face of the planet. Omos is in WWE catering. After getting over in fucking Pro Wrestling Noah. Because organic is not their style. It must be the machine. Omos does not work in the droid army. I think Adam Cole might have more muscle now than Sammy. He probably does. You would need to put the two of them side by side to prove it, but probably Adam Cole's still a better wrestler than Sami Zayn. There is some interesting madness from this tag match, though. Like, I think they tried to sway the crowd a little bit with all the tags in and out. Should Speedball defeat Okada? I want to say yes, but no. Like like that would be a good thing, but I don't. Sammy has more psychology. Based on what? Because he gets to play around with Kevin Owens, like in the changing rooms now and again. No. Sami Zayn has not done any form of ring psychology in a long time. No cross again on Raw. Yep, Billy, you're not the only one that got annoyed by that, mate. We all echo that statement. It's ridiculous. What surprises me is they tried a lot of the swaying of tag teams by trying to have JD and Finn Balor compete like a fully fledged tag team with all the tagging in and out. They're trying to sway the crowd. Please be mindful. This is WWE trying to take tag teams seriously after not caring for years. They still don't care. They still don't care. We're at the point now where your intelligence is going to be insulted. And this is the sad thing. This right here is the end of AJ. This is the end of AJ Styles in WWE. Like, this is him going to be the hot tag guy. This is a guy who's won 3 of the major world championships, headlined Manias, headlined Bound for Glories, headlined Wrestle Kingdom, headlined Final Battle, all of that. And now he's just going to be tag me, tag me, tag me, tag me. And then comes Styles for the hot tag. Oh dear. Why would you do this to AJ? I think you're going to get him one short run in TNA first, and then AEW. I think he's going to go back to TNA just to do the honor of their Hall of Fame, and then he's going to do the honor of having matches in AEW. I hate the fact that he is doing this crap. What an excellent question, Glenn. Who would be the perfect tag partner for Mr. Perfect on today's roster? Since it's WWE specifically, because Mr. Perfect was a WWE gimmick, I would say AJ or Braun Breaker. AJ or Braun Breaker for me. But hey, Braun Breaker is now someone's lapdog, so he means nothing now. I actually would like that. Cross should go back to TNA. He will be respected there. Makes no difference. AEW will probably fumble him. They wouldn't make him a Sparta gimmick, that's for sure. AEW would probably put him with the Hounds of Hell. Buddy Matthews, Brody King, carrying Cross with Scarlett Bordeaux and Julia Hart would be incredible. AJ Styles should have been the first TNA induction. Yeah. I think the first 2 inductions were correct. Sting and Angle. But if AJ was still there, yeah, he would have been. I would have done AJ, Angle, Sting. Then Abyss. But, of course, they love to fuck shit up. There's some good TNA things, and there's some really shit things. That's one of them. Iron Mike today and Dom West not being inducted sooner was pathetic. Ow! 1 second, guys. I'm going to go and shout at someone. No! Who's in the background? That's personal. fuck's sake. Yeah, I am. Hold on. There we go. But yes, I'm saying there. You're on your last warning with me. It's fine. It's because I didn't turn the thing back on from here. Okay. So, do you think Bobby Roode will be inducted in the TNA Hall of Fame since they have a partnership with or not? He should be inducted regardless of the. Well, it's not even really a partnership, is it? It's you scratch our back and we'll stab you in the heart. Because that's what they're doing. No. Actually, a little bit more now that players are back from injury, but it means nothing. We need to actually do the job. Again, this is not my football channel, so I'm not going to talk football. Sorry. It's not happening. Again, WWE with tag teams, don't fucking bother. Because they don't care. The end. Oh, right. Are they taking women seriously? No. Of course they're not. First of two women's triple threat matches, Natalya versus Roxanne Perez versus Bucktooth Lynch. Long story short, the NXT call-up to the roster, who's now permanent, won the match. We're going to get Lyra versus Becky again in back-to-back pay-per-views. Once was enough, twice is pathetic. Speaking of music, who thought having The Weeknd doing WrestleMania themes every year was the move? No idea. I've never once liked their songs. I don't like their songs at all. We went from real music to this cheap shit. No wonder Def Rebel are still employed. Should they have Sean doing the booking? Nope. Not for me. The song choices nowadays for everything is confusing. That SmackDown theme drives me crazy. Sesame Street shit. That's one way to put it. That is one way to put it. Winner of this match, of course, would join. Def Rebel do suck. Agreed. They absolutely do. The winner of this first triple threat would be joining the incredibly talented Alexa Bliss in the Money in the Bank. Of course, she won it at Chelsea Green's expense. Why WWE? Why? I do miss the Beautiful People for SmackDown theme song. It was a good theme song, to be fair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite frankly, the person who should be booking the main event, booking the main roster is none of Baldy or Hickenbottom. In a way, it kind of does. I would give booking to William Regal. Roxanne Perez would win the match because obviously Lyra Valkyria comes out with her talentless ass, gets involved, screws Becky. I mean, Becky not winning a Money in the Bank is actually a good thing regardless, but still, we get this. We're going to get the rematch. She's going to beat her this time, so stay tuned for that. I never asked for it. Nobody wants it. We're going to get it. People are going to go, yay, hooray. I don't know why people like this shit. Do you prefer Triple H with hair? I don't like him full stop. Hair, no hair, a hair transplant, a Kurt Angle wig with a headgear. Pure nonsense. You don't like certain wrestlers because Lyra can wrestle? I don't like Lyra because she bores me to death. It's got nothing to do with if she can or can't wrestle. Lyra just bores me to death. And she won the Intercontinental title that she didn't deserve. Should Madison Rayne return to TNA? Nah, I don't think there's any point. Headgear, Hurst Helmsley. That's actually quite good. What's this whole Alexa Charlotte stuff? I think they're building to one of two things. Either they're building to a gimmick change for Charlotte to make her interesting for the first time in her life, or Alexa Bliss is just going to get shafted by her. Other than that, no idea. I don't think they know what they're doing with it. I don't think it's a good idea. It feels weird. I like the match between them. I thought it was a 4-star match. Are you talking about Becky versus Lyra on their own, which was a spot fest and a finisher fest? She is talentless. I've seen more talent from Ivy Nile. And that's saying something. For me, anyway. I think she was pushed far too early. Far too early. Here, I'm on here, I'm being honest. There's a difference. Jordan Grace at one point was one of the best in the world. Now she's fallen down that pecking order because she's been made to work slow and it's causing serious problems. I hate that someone comes in and automatically goes, oh, by the way, since you know what you're doing, we just want you to do this. And then it puts that talent in great danger. Which is a problem. True or false? Triple H has had a successful career at always being the second guy, second to Michaels, the other guy in main events, the second guy to run WWE. True. Like he's just the number 2. He is like just taking a quick shit. As the first guy, not a chance. I actually think he would have a lot more fun running NXT with Shawn Michaels together than anything else. I think William Regal would be a far better option booking their main rosters. Or at least one of them. Like, all-round basis, it would be a lot better for him. He was between 96 and 2002. And then after that, he just knew his way in, and he just became that guy where it was just obvious. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He was projecting himself as a B+ player, where he was trying to portray himself as an A star or an A plus. When you look at his work, and there's some good stuff in there in the Ruthless Aggression era, he already knew that his position was cemented, that he was never going to go anywhere. Which doesn't help because there was things that he could do that was relevant and he just fell off. Triple H's a phony. He caters to work rate fans, but he always hate guys like that. See, I'm a work rate fan, but I also admire certain other things about it. But he hated guys like... It's funny he says he hated work rate guys. But Ric Flair was that. His career's A+. Please don't lie. If Stone Cold doesn't retire and The Rock doesn't go to Hollywood, there is no Triple H, Cena, or Randy Orton championship runs. I think you still get some of them. Like, I'll say this. See, the thing is, that's what I like, but I don't count him as a savior. Like, for me, Brett was the work rate. Overrated, yeah. His best work for me was 99 to 2003. Anything after that, his position was just cemented. Well, 2003 until the Shawn Michaels stuff got way out of control. Like, they overshot that feud for me. I don't rate that feud a lot because they just kept doing the same match. That's why I don't like their Hell in a Cell match. He did some good stuff with Evolution that I actually don't hate, but it was over the top. He isn't one of the GOATs, not for me. It's quite fun how you say that he... I think one thing that he is great... I think there's one thing that he is beneficial of in the best way, and this is not an insult or anything like that. He is very beneficial of the people that he admired and who looked up to, because they then wanted to work with him. So, Ric Flair absolutely cements him. Yep, that's a good point as well, Billy. I don't disagree with that. We may never have gotten Stone Cold to that top level extent, but he would have forced himself through, though. I think he still forces his way into the conversation because Steve Austin shines more than Triple H does. Like, you can see the star is there, but something has to give. If the curtain call never happened, we may never have got him as the King of the Ring. And then it would have been very interesting to see what happens next. He's a student of the game. If he's such a student of the game, then why is he failing right now? Look at all the people that he tried to get kicked out of the locker rooms. He's the perfect antithesis to his favourite wrestler. He's got some great main events. I will not deny this. I will not deny this, even though I don't like the guy that much. He has some great main events. But let's be real. Is he seriously a 14-time world champion? No. I would say 7 to 9 at best. Same with Cena. Cena's a 17-time world champion. But a lot of his title reigns were just handed to him because Vince McMahon really loved to give him the shovel. I would say 8 for Cena, if I'm being kind. Randy Orton, 9, 10 times as world champion. 100%. I'm alright with that. But I think so many people are just beneficial by who they know. He's a student who only reads one book. Yeah. See, for me, there is one particular era. Sorry, not era. There's one particular period where I actually really enjoyed him as a main eventer. Like, I actually really enjoyed his main event run, 99 to 2001. Like, that specifically, that period as a main eventer, you believed that. Like, he stood out a lot. And I've got nothing against that at all. He could have been a 10-time champion like Orton has 14. Well, that's what I've literally just said. But I think when you look at so many title reigns, a lot of them are so short they have no interest. Like Randy Orton, look at 09 and 2010, for example. Even 2011, they just kept giving him championship reigns. Just was like, oh yeah, it's Orton. Where there was times where he really didn't stand out. Gaslight era is the era to call. Yes. Would Triple H have been? Would Triple H being there have made the invasion angle better? Yes. He's one of 5 people who sadly missed out that would have made that so much better. There's WWE talent wise specifically, he's one of 5 that missed out that really didn't help. See, when you've got a ring on your finger for that, it's going to help when you know who to go to. Yeah, like, I'm not going to deny it. I think in that period of time, he would have been great for that invasion angle. Yeah. If they had access to certain contracts, that invasion angle gets booked 100 times better. Just remember, Monday Night Raw was about to go as well. Monday Night Raw was about to change forever until they pulled the plug at the last minute. Oh, that's a true story. The one thing I will grant him though is he does lean in. When he leaned into the comedy side in like the mid 2000s, he was nailing that. But again, he just went on a period where he was holding it back like it was some sort of like mantle for him, like it was his like a birthright where he has to hold shit back. And I'm like, dude, there was far more talented people around you that should have been world champion that didn't because of you. They fucked up. They created a great moment with Shane buying at the end, but they weren't ready for the storyline. No, they weren't at all. I agree. They weren't ready. If they had the contracts that weren't exclusive to Time Warner and AOL, that would have been one of the best storylines ever written. You still could have had some of the best matches, stories, feuds, and the conclusion at Survivor Series. You know what? They concluded the wrong event. I actually think they concluded it at the wrong event. If he can't be the champion, he'll choose the champion. Yep. I think Triple H was a very good worker. The way he focused on a limb was great. He only ever focused on one limb, the leg. It felt like a straight up Russo mess. Give us 3 10 out of 10 mic skill wrestlers. So great on the mic and also great in the ring at the same time. Just to be specific, that's what you're asking for. 10 out of 10 on the mic, 10 out of 10 in the ring. Or just 10 out of 10 wrestlers who are just better on the mic. Mic only. Alright, okay then. Let's see. Who is great on the mic? I want to go for I don't want to go for cliches or obvious. I want to go for people that actually were different. So I'll go with this one might shock you. This one might shock you. I don't think he was a I actually think he was better on the mic than he was in terms of the ring. But I am going to say Rick Martel. Now the question is 10 out of 10 mic, not the wrestler themselves that actually do the work. So I'm saying Rick Martel. I actually think Rick Martel was incredibly good in the mic. If you look at Glenn's question again, guys, look at the question again. He's not looking for a CM Punk. Speaking of which, so yeah, I'm sticking. So Rick Martel. Right, hold on. I'm gonna fucking punch their back in a minute. I'm gonna deal with these two. The Rock was the best showman on the mic, but not the best overall. Yeah. The Rock was one-dimensional. Cena bodied him. Cena only bodied him because it was the only time he actually did enough of his career. Cena's overrated on the mic. Like, he's really overrated. Triple H promo. Triple H only ever had 2 good promos in his entire career. Jericho's been great on the promo his entire career. Jericho's never been bad on the mic. Hollywood Rock and Corporation Rock was his best periods on the mic by a mile. Those were his 2 best runs. Dealing with my brothers is not easy. At times I really can't fucking stand them. And I've got no shame saying that. I can't fucking stand them sometimes. Now, obviously in this match, this is Natalia's first TV match since returning from the clown shows. No, I don't want to discuss my brothers. I don't want to answer any questions about family, alright? There's some things I just refuse to speak about, and that's family. Especially because his situation is much worse than anybody in this chat, so it's complicated. So I don't want to talk about family, thanks. This is Natalia's first TV match since she did the Bloodsport and her NWA match. Was it a decent showing for Natalya? Kinda. Is Natalya being wasted? Massively. I don't know what the fuck they've got in plans for her. There's no turning back for Natalya now in terms of being reliable, unless she goes elsewhere. No, it's okay. It's not your fault. I don't hold it against you. It's just I'd rather not discuss family. This is not a family channel. None of my family watch this anyway, so that's actually that's a reality of it. But where we're at is circumstance, so we're happy to just move on. You're being a considerate family man. No, it's because I'm the eldest brother. I have to step in sometimes, annoyingly. I don't like it. I'd rather not do this. Like especially when I lose my. I'm not a good man. I tried to be a good brother for them, but it doesn't work. They're both difficult. It is hard to deal with. It is hard. And they're not considerate for me because they always fucking fight when I'm streaming. I would love to just seriously just throw them both into a cage and trap them there and sit them down and just be like, shut the fuck up. But they never do. No, I'm just sick and tired of it. It's not my responsibility to get involved in their fights. That is not my job. But I can't fucking... Their noise might not be bothering you, but I hate when it comes through in the mic, because then it stops what I'm talking about. Then I have to go and deal with it, then I have to come back. I don't like that. Like, I fucking hate when that shit happens. Backstage following this segment, Seth Rollins confronted Logan Paul. Rollins trying to be a manipulator in this circumstance. A lot of people thought this was great, but I feel like this was cheap. He can't beat Jey Uso, he can't beat Gunther, but he can beat Logan Paul for the world title. Where's the justification? Logan Paul nearly beat him at WrestleMania, so how can and he just beat him. He didn't beat him, he just beat him. I'd love to know how Seth Rollins gets the justification that he can just beat Logan Paul for a world title if he wins it. This was not strong working here. I don't know what the fuck he is now. I don't know what he is now, but it's not even funny. Triple H wants people to have amnesia. Either that or people to be struggling with sleep, because his product puts people to sleep. Yeah, well, it's all complicated with my brothers. Remember when they used to build up wrestlers properly? Well, I will say this, the Performance Center doesn't do that. Up next, we get, again, this match doesn't offer anything, but we get the match between Grayson Waller and Sheamus. The only remedial thing about this is Sheamus is back on TV, but again, what is there for Sheamus to do? He wants to be back in the Intercontinental title scene. No, mate. No. You've had so many chances, you don't deserve another one. I'm sorry. And anyone who says he should be a Grand Slam champion, please leave. Sheamus doesn't deserve it. I'm sorry. I'm sick of people saying, oh, he deserves it, he should win it. He had his chance and he failed. Austin Theory laughing at Grayson Waller. Again, why are they still a tag team? Just like the Judgment Day still being a faction, why is Theory and Waller still a team when they offer nothing? What's the aim for this? And then we get a taped moron segment between some random basketball player, the Twat Brothers, on commentary. Fuck's sake. Why are they giving basketball players a fucking version of a video game? Austin has potential. No, Austin had potential. Keyword, had. Not anymore. He's got nothing. Cena killed his career without intentionally killing his career. It's over. I'm skipping. This segment was fucking awful. I'm not even going to fucking go into it. We've got a segment with Akira Tozawa or Piss Take wants another match with Rusev, or he really wants the match. Oh. Why are we having this as well? What was bad about that segment? It's sheer awful. Why are people praising this segment? Hooray! Basketball player in a 2K25 game. Mate, you don't have the star power of Dennis Rodman, who shouldn't have been in WCW in the first place. This is the shit that really fucks me off about WWE. They go so far in with rewarding these bums, and you're like, it's alright, it's worth it. No, it's not. You're meant to be a wrestling company, not anybody can come in and be a bitch company. I can't take this shit seriously. I'm skipping it. Fucking skipping it. Sami Zayn vowing to have Jey Uso's back at Saturday Night's main event. Oh dear God, Sami Zayn, we already know what you're going to do, mate. You're going to screw him over, or you're going to try and screw him over. I give up with Sami Zayn. I give up. I here denounce him as a wrestler on this stream as of now. Exactly. Smooth realism. You are the understander of understanders. Thank you for understanding. The segment was awful, Guy, because it was unwanted, it offers nothing to the show, and it's another excuse for Triple H to do this. It's a clown show. I'm sorry, but it's a clown show. I can't take that shit seriously. I'm sorry, but I can't. It's painful. Let us have enjoyable stuff. Let us see wrestlers becoming better wrestlers. Let's see wrestlers working and doing good promos. Instead, we're getting, oh, golly gee, you're a huge basketball player. Do you want to be in our video game? And you've got one of the worst actually, no, you've got two of them. Commentators going, congratulations, you're in the game, sir. Alright, now I've had enough. I think you're cherry picking. Let's see, AEW still doesn't give me a reason to watch. Don't care about the Young Bucks. Don't care about the Death Failures. Bryan Danielson back. If you can, maybe then I'll be intrigued. WWE just love to shove ads down your throat. In AEW, then Netbeard, Sweat, Love, and Breathe Wrestling. At least they love wrestling. What do WWE fans love? Like, even myself, as a WWE fan, I love wrestling. I don't love the shit they're producing. There's more to care about, though. The Cena thing still has legs. No, it doesn't. That Cena thing's already dead. I told you months ago. The Seth thing hasn't played out yet, because it's the same thing. You've already wasted your time. If you honestly think there's something going on with Seth Rollins, you're blind. I'm sorry. The Death Rider's been going on for 10 months. True, it has been. Can it be a lot better? I agree, it could be a whole lot better. But in circumstance, I would rather see that than the Seth Rollins just doing his own fake bloodline. And Cena's the worst champion in wrestling right now. He's actually turning people away from the business. And if you think he's not, you're in trouble. We get the triple threat match involving Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, and Zoe Stark, which obviously we know what happens here. That's one for MJF. MJF's thing right now is weird, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm not overly confident in it. Seth Rollins is literally what people say about Triple H. He's just a number 2. And Seth Rollins is actually quite good, but he's worth shit right now. There's nothing there for him. And if you think it's going to be good, then I'd love to know what you're... Because that is smoking dope shit, brother. Sadly for Zoe Stark, she got a knee injury in this one, so she was removed from the match. It then becomes a one-on-one, and then Rhea Ripley just proceeds to destroy Kairi Sane. And it concludes with Rhea Ripley qualifying for Money in the Bank when, quite frankly, she doesn't need it. If she does win it, though, then, well, I'll be gutted for someone like Chelsea Green, who never got in the match in the first place. I'm surprised that they're doing this route, though, for her to go and get... Unless she's going to get close and then she gets screwed, then I wouldn't actually mind that. But it doesn't seem right for me that she's just going to walk into Money in the Bank. She doesn't need it. I don't think she needs it. WWE could be killing it, but they won't let Cross do his thing. This dude is a beast with loads of creativity. Carrying Cross isn't the only thing that will turn WWE around. If you want to turn WWE around, let talent work properly. It's the easiest thing in the world. Dutch Mantel said it best. If you let talent work, talent do their thing. If you don't let talent work, then it's pointless. Rhea Ripley, overwhelming favourite. Good pops though for Rhea Ripley. She does win the match, of course. I just think it was the wrong decision to have her win. Main event, the opening card world champion versus Bron Breakker. This is awesome. Chance came in within 5 minutes. Again, this is awesome is really losing its substance. This is not what awesome is. This is how I know these fans are stuck in a matrix. Paul Heyman gets involved as well when the chairs are brought in. He trips up Jey Uso. Rollins then hits the ring. Disqualification victory for Jey Uso. Again, another interference and angle. We then get Sami Zayn and CM Punk. They all come out. CM Punk is the only one in this full thing who I feel sorry for. Despite the shit that he said last week, I feel sorry for him because he's stuck in this vortex. Bron Breakker, he chose to put himself in this vortex. He's going nowhere. I wish it was better. Yeah, but they're so far behind in progressing certain wrestlers. They need someone who's going to really shake things up. They're not going to do it, though. They're not going to let him do it. Because they don't care. We get another backstage segment again. This is Roxanne Perez giving Dominic Mysterio chicken nuggets. I did say give them time. Like, how hard is that? They've actually tied them in. Like, I already confirmed this on the Dynamite review. They tied them all together for Double or Nothing. I don't care much about the Bucks, but if you actually look at it, they've all tied them together. Whereas I look at Seth Rollins, and I stand by this. Seth Rollins already killed his faction and his story the minute they said to Sami Zayn, by the way, this is nothing like the Bloodline. The only difference is they're not all Samoan, but it's the same faction. It's the same elements. I can't take that seriously because they've already made it stupid. They didn't need to make it a faction. And it's going to keep growing and growing and growing to the point where you actually just go, what's the point? They need to bypass Heyman with Rollins and just get Heyman with Braun Breaker together on their own. That's it. Nothing else, nothing more. No stupid shit. That's all we need. But instead, they've wasted it. And it's honestly a shame. That is something I actually am annoyed about, and that's something I'm disappointed with as well, because that would have done a lot of shaking up in a good way, and we're not getting it. And by the time we eventually, if they do it, they get to Breaker with Paul Heyman, by that point, who will have cared? And I'm a Braun Breaker fan. I'm actually losing care. I hate losing care for wrestlers I actually like. Work rate fans are ruining WWE. With that said, smarks and anti-smarks are cancer. There's nothing wrong with a work rate fan. There's nothing wrong with a work rate fan at all. What's wrong in general is the fans who believe they're actually booking this shit and they think it actually is working. That's the real problem for me. And just failing to learn lessons. I favour work rate because I like to see people who put the work in actually get the reward. Especially when it comes to actually working. Like, I don't just value work rate as great matches. I value work rate as someone who is taking the time and appreciation to improve themselves and their craft. So story over wrestling, everything. This is the funny thing. When people say they value story over wrestling, or wrestling over story, or whatever, everything in wrestling is a story. I actually am sick of telling that to people. Like, here's the funny thing. Everything in wrestling is a story. Whether it be combat, or whether it be verbal, or little subtle vignettes, they're all story. People just pick one or the other just for the sake of it. Whereas I just value the whole thing. I want just to be great. Sadly, on the other hand, it's not. And I don't know when it will be again. I think human beings in general are one-dimensional. But that isn't all. I actually think if you like a certain style, that actually helps when you're answering a specific question. Like, I actually think that is really useful. I avoid the tribal, but I try my best to avoid the tribal shit. Here's the thing. I don't think I think there are people absolutely out there that hate wrestling promotions. There are people out there that absolutely hate wrestling promotions, and I get it. There's people out there who just hate certain wrestling styles, certain bookers, certain people. But for me, my issue is I've watched every wrestling company you can think of since I started watching. I love professional wrestling. What I hate is when people claim certain things are good, and then if another promotion does something almost identical or similar, straight away the words are, that is shit though. And I'm like, is it low? It's basically what you're saying is good. The only difference is it's different people involved. It's actually an issue that I can't fathom. So, like, for the life of me, I will never understand that narrative. I'll never understand it. So I look at here's a great example. NWA WCW War Games. I mentioned it last night on the sit down show that we did. And by the way, last night's show was incredible, guys, which I appreciate. Last night we mentioned War Games came up as a question, and I instantly said I'll only do NWA WCW because they did War Games the way I believe it should have been, and it made sense. War Games was a violent, extreme cage match with one intention: you KO an opponent or you force them to tap out. And then all of a sudden you're bringing in, actually, you know what, we'll just do pinfalls instead. I'm not going into a war to make someone on their back for 3 seconds. I'm going there to beat the shit out of them, right? I also feel like that's toned down. I feel like War Games only worked in NWA and WCW. Each company should having their own unique style of match is fine. Like WWE Hell in a Cell or the Elimination Chamber. That's unique to them, even though they're toned down a little bit now, which is a shame. TNA has Lethal Lockdown. Well, they haven't in quite some time, but they've got Ultimate X and King of the Mountain. Unique matches to them. AEW, even though I'm not overly keen on it, but you've got Anarchy in the Arena, you've got Stadium Stampede, and you've got Blood and Guts to an extent, even though it's slightly War Games. But the reality of the concept is how I value. WCW obviously then brought in the triple cage match thing that was really weird. The 3 levels cage match, which made no sense. And I don't recommend anyone watching that match. I really don't recommend anyone watching it. But some companies do it a little bit better. That doesn't make the other company's version shit. You should just say, actually, I'm not keen on their presentation. If it's so violent for you, then just say, I don't like the violent narrative. But they should all, in a way, have the same construct. It should be beating them into submission or beating them to quit. not beating them to then get a pinfall. That's a whole clusterfuck for me that I don't like. Even the New Japan have got their own version as well, the dog pound cage match. The difference is they go for the submission. I think those elements are just bad. I always had trouble fitting in because of that. I'm a little bit of country, I'm a little bit of rock and roll. Good choice of that. Good choice for song to fit the point very well. Are you okay mentally at the moment? I'm fine. You don't think the Mox match was extreme? It was extreme to their level, but it could have been more. The thing is they are glad to test that water. That's why, like they go for that. I get it. WWE don't like as much anymore, but even WWE hold back on the extreme when they do extreme type matches, like the extreme gimmick level matches. They hold back, and I'm like, you know what? Don't hold back. Go all in. Pardon the pun. The crowd obviously does sing Cult of Personality in this segment as well. Jey Uso and Braun Breaker working together. I'll be surprised if that's a PLE main event. I'll be very surprised. I'm just not sure if they're going to get anywhere. But let's see. In terms of this, Saturday is Saturday night's main event. Will I be reviewing it? No, but we'll see how it goes. But I just think there's some things about Monday Night Raw that I just wish they would do differently. Let them go and let them do things. That's why I don't hate Mox. I actually don't understand the hate. Like, if the man wants to, it's what people do. To an extent, if that's what people like, that's what people like. You shouldn't be telling people not to like it for that circumstance. But this is why I don't like the narrative of this is what you like, then just don't turn off. These people wouldn't cope with a barbed wire massacre match done properly. I did say this should have been the finish, though. It's still extreme, though. I thought this was the finish, though. I didn't like that they didn't make that the finish. I've said that before. If you go back and look, I did say this should have been the finish. Yeah, I do agree. Like, he really has, like, I don't think he is the absolute best ever. He's not. He's not even in that bracket for me. But he has carried AEW when they've asked him to, when he realistically shouldn't be doing it. There's a lot of hard things in there. This, for me, though, should be his last time being world champion, though. I stand by this. He should stop being champion. They shouldn't constantly keep going back to him if it's because they need to put someone on the belt before they build up another champion. Just take a risk on someone. I actually would think that'd be a very valuable effort and a valuable moment. All he's doing is playing clutch on the title. It's not his fault, though, that he's champion, by the way. He isn't doing a bad job. It's just simply they haven't pivoted. Lacey Evans, I mean, it could be worse. She could be Lacey Von Erich. Less said on her, the better. Lacey Evans, however, what she said, though, was horrible. She's somebody who said some shit that I'll never forgive her for. But she wasn't bad in the ring. I stand by that. She wasn't bad in the ring at all. Yeah, they all say. Yeah, she said that's what I'll never forgive her for. My brother is that. That really pissed me off. Like that really, really annoyed me. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, Republicans are strange. I don't understand the whole American like which one's which, but they are strange as fuck. She had some potential. She's just an asshole. She tried to be Sergeant Slaughter, even though I get that's what she is, but she tried to be Sergeant Slaughter, but it just didn't work. Well, you don't technically catch you can't catch autism. But yeah, I don't understand why she said that though. Like, it made no sense whatsoever. Like bizarre, bizarre. Anyway, let's get some closing comments, and then after that, we're gonna wrap up. Remember, there's no stream tomorrow. But there will be on Thursday. And I apologise that things did get interrupted throughout the show as well. I really do apologise. Yeah, people gave up fast. I have done a few. It'll be a lot easier when I have like say like a place of my own when I can do that, but it's more or less like that. It's mutations of your genes. That's all it is. It's just your genes mutating or a defect in your gene. That's all it is. But yeah, I haven't done one in ages, but the only ones I won't be doing again is Saudi. Like, I won't be doing that again. Fuck that. But yeah, I think tonight's been a fun one, folks. It's been a good review. I'll be back Thursday, so I'll see you then. Oh yeah, that's true. He let him fizzle out so bad. Don't see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks, and I'll see you Thursday. You've been a great audience again. In the meantime, God bless. Good night. Bang. And see you later, my friends. Bye bye.